What's going on, my fellow Jedi and Padawans? Welcome back to another Jedi gaming video. Thank you guys so much for coming back to the channel. If you guys are new, welcome. Crushing the new year. 2022 is here, and we got some nice content to go over before Witch Queen drops February 22nd. About to be so much going on when that hits, so we're going to do a little prep soon, going over some tips and tricks for the dungeons and Dares of Eternity. Everything getting vaulted soon. We got a lot coming at you, but today we're continuing our series for the most underrated weapons within Destiny, going a little different with this one with the Zealots Reward Fusion Rifle. Now this thing is from the Garden of Salvation from the first encounter. Actually, it has a pretty low impact because it is a rapid fire frame. It's void burn, and I think this thing is pretty underrated in the PvP scene because all you do is see like Telestos, stuff like that for fusion rifles, and this thing is super good because its charge time is absolutely minimal. The charge time on this bad boy is only 460. That compared to like your Glacial Chasm, which is 1,000, this thing shoots twice before the Glacial Chasm can even shoot once. It's absolutely amazing, and when you're up close and personal with this thing, it absolutely destroys Guardians. So to start out, I'm going to go over what I think the God roll is for this weapon for PvP with a little gameplay in the background and going over some alternate rolls as well. So for the first column, I think you should go with Hammer Forged Rifling because it gives you plus 10 range with no negatives, and its range is kind of lacking due to its rapid fire frame. Next, I'm going to go with Liquid Coils because it adds 10 impact to this weapon, which it definitely is lacking in the impact category, especially compared to something that's like a heavy frame in like the Glacial Chasm, which it has almost 100 impact compared to this one has 55. For that third slot, I'm going to go with Under Pressure because it increases the stability and accuracy as your magazine gets low, and usually you're only carrying about 2 to 4 of these bolts inside of your gun just because of the ammo economy inside of Crucible. Finally, for me, I'm going to go with Rampage in the last slot just because when you get that first kill, it does give you extra damage, which is Rampage, and then actually it does give you a little range boost as well when Rampage is procced, so it's perfect to get those longer range kills and that extra damage, which is what this thing needs with the lacking in the rapid fire frame. But like I said, if you can get up close and personal, get that first kill with that, it just absolutely starts eating Guardians. It is amazing. I wish I had a roll, still grinding for one. I keep getting high impact reserves, which is also a good option. Some alternate rolls that you can get though is in that first slot. Instead of Hammer Forged Rifling, go with Small Bore because it gives you 7 range and 7 stability. It's a nice alternative to Hammer Forged Rifling, which is that plus 10 range. For our second slot, you can also go Projection Fuse, which is another range perk. It gives you plus 10 range instead of that Liquid Coils, which was plus 10 impact. So you can build this thing out so it just absolutely maps with a bunch of these range mods. Under Pressure, I think, is your best option in that third slot, pretty much no matter what. You might be able to go with Feeding Frenzy if you have ammo reserves on and you just have a plethora of ammo and are just wiping people, reloading all the time, but I really don't think much in that third slot really matters. Under Pressure is personally my favorite. And then finally, for that last slot, you could go Backup Plan just because for a faster charge time, but 460 is already super fast. So with that Backup Plan, you don't necessarily need it, but if you do throw it on, it is like an almost instant charge and fire. So it is super nice for that. You can get off 2 shots before most people can get off 2 shotguns even. So to make this thing super effective, I definitely suggest you get within about 10 meters. Sometimes you can map a little bit farther than that, but you do need to be pretty up close and personal with people, maybe even closer than 10 meters because that impact is pretty lacking. You do also have to hit pretty much every bolt with this, so just aim mid-mass on them right in the chest and let this thing fly, and it will eat some Guardians. I'm playing on Anomaly here, which is a perfect map for it. Obviously, some maps like Widow's Court probably won't tailor to this because everyone is playing at a much farther distance, and like I said, this thing kind of lacks in its range and impact, but makes up for it super heavily in that charge time, and with the perks that you can throw on it, it does map pretty similar distance to our other fusion rifles, but like I said, you can get off 2 shots of this before you can get off a shot of a lot of the other fusion rifles within the game, especially in PvP, like what I use this thing for, because PvE, this thing with that lack of impact is not great for wiping out champions, everything like that. In endgame might be kind of nice for some of the ads like the red bars, rank and file enemies, but definitely a PvP weapon in my personal opinion. So hopefully this helped you guys out. Enjoy this weapon. Go grab it from the Garden of Salvation. That first encounter, you don't gotta go too far. The first encounter is fairly easy. So thank you guys again so much. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.